Hi, Henry. Hi, Cora. Hi, Bonnie. Today I'm going to read Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss. This is Horton. Get ready for a fun story. That's what the inside looks like. Whoops. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton, the elephant, heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked toward the sound. That's funny, thought Horton. There's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were calling for help. I'll help you, said Horton. But who are you? Where? He looked and he looked and he could see nothing there but a very small speck of dust blowing in the air. I say, murmured Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why, I think there just must be someone on top of that small speck of dust. Some sort of a creature of a very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because, after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So gently, and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air, and he lifted the dust speck and carried it over, and placed it down safe on a very soft clover. Humph, humphed a voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, humph, too. Why, that speck is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that? Why, there never has been. Believe me, said Horton, I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite keen and I heard it quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's two, even three, even four. Quite likely a family for all that we know. So a family with children just starting to grow. So please, said Horton as a favor to me, try not to disturb them. Please, just let them be. I think you're a fool, laughed the sour kangaroo. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. You're the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell. And the kangaroo plunged in the cool of the pool. What terrible splashing, the elephant frowned. I can't let my very small persons be drowned. I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they. So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on that flower. And Horton walked, worrying, almost an hour. Should I put the speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't, after all. A person's a person, no matter how small. They're all laughing at him. Look on the clover. Look, look, look. Then Horton stopped walking. Let me try that again. Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. Speak up, please, said Horton, and he put his ear near it. My friend, came the voice, you're a very fine friend. You've helped all us folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings and floors. You've saved all our churches and grocery stores. You mean? Horton gasped. You have buildings there, too? Oh, yes, piped the voice. We most certainly do. I know, called the voice. I'm too small to be seen, but I'm mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. To us, our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they're wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who. And we Whos are all thankful and grateful to you. And Horton called back to the mayor of town, You're safe now, don't worry. I won't let you down. There's the whole town of Whoville on the tiny, tiny speck of dust. Wow. But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, What rot! The elephants talking to Whos who are not? There aren't any Whos, and they don't have a mayor, and we're going to stop all this nonsense. So there. Trying to get it. They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladikoff, a mighty strong eagle of very swift wing, and they said, Would you kindly get rid of this thing? And then, before the elephant could speak, the eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. All that late afternoon and far into the night, the black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones. He begged, Please don't harm all my little folks who have as much right to live as us bigger folks do. But far, far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, Quit your yapping! I'll fly through the night. I'm a bird. I don't mind it. And I'll hide this tomorrow where you'll never find it. And at 6:56 the next morning, he did it. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let the small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers. 100 miles wide. Find that, sneered the bird, but I think you will fail. And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. I shall find it, cried Horton. I'll find it or bust. I shall find my friends on that small speck of dust. And clover by clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched them and called, Are you there? But clover by clover by clover he found that the one that he sought was just not around. And by noon, poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked and searched and piled up 9,005. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last, on the 3,000,000th flower. My friends, cried the elephant, tell me, do tell, are you safe, are you sound, are you whole, are you well? From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. We've really had trouble, much more than our share. When that black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed. Will you stick? Oh, so Horton, please, pleaded the voice of the mayor's. Will you stick by us who's while we're making repairs? Of course, Horton answered, of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks, through thin and through thick. There's the mayor, and he has to use a megaphone to get Horton to hear him. Oh, look at all the repairs. Humph, humphed a voice. For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carryings on in our peaceable jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state, snapped the big kangaroo, that your silly, nonsensical game is all through. And the younger kangaroo in her pouch said, Me too. This looks like trouble. With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and Wickersham's in-laws whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. And as for your dust speck, that we shall boil in hot steaming kettle of bezel nut oil. Boil it? Gasped Horton. Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. They'll prove it to you.